our items. Screw cap bottles, however, should actually have screw caps on them instead of foil. So where to find them? First of all, I've got 3 different sizes here that I found on the shelf. 1, 2, and 3. I am by the fish on the side, opposite side of the hood. There are 2 drawers here with, look at this, screw caps. They are supposed to be separated by size. These are the ones that go on the 500 ml bottles. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off this foil, and the cover that goes on needs to have a lining in it. You see there's a variety of options in here. This red one's a weird one. I wouldn't use that for this, but it really doesn't matter if it's the rubber inside or the white, tan, whatever, as long as there's something there. If it's missing, then obviously don't use it. And also check the rim. If the rim is chipped, cracked, anything that makes it not perfect, then the bottle should go in the glass trash. So you put your cover on. When you're going to autoclave it, you need to have this loose. You cannot have it tight because steam is what's doing the sterilizing. If you have this tight, steam's not getting in there. The bottle's going to get stupid hot, but it's not going to get sterile unless that steam actually hits it. So you need to have it loose enough for steam to hit it. Now you're going to be adding a piece of autoclave tape on here. Have the flap, like I always talk about, fold over a little piece, but make it a little piece. You don't need to fold over a mile, just fold over enough to be grabbable. So with all of these larger bottles, for the most part, are going to be this larger size cap. We do have a few weird larger bottles that do take the small ones. They're pretty obvious. I think you can figure it out. That said, again, make sure that the rim is in good shape. Put that on there. Make sure its threads are caught but not tight. And then that one just needs tape and it's ready to go. These are unique ones. These are jiggly. Oh, look, there's 4 bottles. Look, there's 4 caps. Those are the ones that are supposed to be on there. So these are same concept. These happen to have initials on them, but don't worry about it. That is somebody that retired, is no longer here. We're using the bottles in our space now instead of the research lab. And I have one last thing to show you quick. So you're gonna walk with me to my office because I put the bottles in there. I have some random weird things that happened. So this particular bottle was on the shelf with, look at what's at the bottom. That's that liner from the cap. So somebody tightened this up too soon or had it too tight at some point where it literally suctioned it out of the cap. There's 2 of them like that on the shelf here. Because look, if I look inside here, it's missing because it got suctioned out. I'm pretty sure I'm not getting those out of there, so these bottles are trash. Also on the shelf, in the clean stuff, was this guy. Does he look clean to you? Does not look clean to me, but somehow he made it through washing, dishwashing, autoclaving, going into the dry bake oven to dry off, and it got, the cap actually properly got tightened back down after it was cool, and it was on the shelf like it was pretending to be clean and ready to go. Obviously, it's not clean and ready to go. So if you find that a bottle is somewhere in the process of cleaning and it didn't actually get clean, pull it out, because that should not have ended up on the shelf. And the ones that are on the shelf should be tight like this one is. The time to tighten it is after it's cooled off. So this guy has gone through dishwashing, both hand washing and dishwasher, and then it would have been autoclaved. It goes into the dry bake oven to get the steam out of it. Take it out of that dry bake oven, let it cool to room temperature, and at that point is when you tighten it up, put this back in place so people know it's still sterile because you didn't open it, you just tightened it, and now it goes on the shelf. These should not be loose on the shelf. I took a whole bunch off the shelf today and most of them were tightened, but not all. But again, if you tighten them too soon and they're still hot or still even warm, that's the result. It gets sucked out of there as it gets cooled back off. That, or this cap will end up being on there so tight that I literally have to break the cap to get it back off of here because that suction happens so tightly. Believe it or not, I've done that many times because that's a step that gets missed. Any confusion in this, please ask. It is pretty straightforward. It's just a matter of having known all those steps. That's it. Thanks, guys.